Hello, Crafty friends. It's Connie here from the Daily Life of Creativity, and today I am creating another mini album with you. But this time around is using the new Doodlebug collection, Be Happy collection. It is going to be a cute mini using the acetate paper. It will have some little flip pages and pockets inside. We're just gonna make it super fun. So stick along so I can show you how to make this mini album. Also, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, go ahead and do so. And thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, so we are going to be using the paper 8850 from the Be Happy collection. I wanted to have the polka dots on the outside. And then for the chipboard, you will need a piece that is 4 by 5. Then the spine is 4 by 2. And this is the front cover, is 4 by 2.5. Okay, so this piece of paper will wrap this chipboard piece, and we can go from there. All right, so once again, the paper is 11.5 by 6 3/4. The back of the chipboard page, the album is 4 by 5, spine 4 by 2, and the front of the album is 4 by 2.5. So width 4 inches. And add double-sided tape to my mini album. You know, let's use, always use liquid glue. So, I mean, double-sided, let's use this liquid glue today. Let's see how that works, right? Maybe it moves a little faster, it works better. Okay, here you go. Let's see how this goes. All right. So I will start with the 4 inches by 2.5. That will be the front cover. Okay, there you go. And then I will use the same cover guide tool to ensure the spacing in between is the same for the middle of the spine. Let's add that here. There you go. Let's add the liquid glue once again to the back of the album, which is 4 by 5. I'm really liking this collection, guys. What do you guys think about it? I love that it's playful, relevant. You can use it for summer and just to document so much more, right? All right, so this is looking nice. It has a little gap in between so your paper doesn't crease. And then now, while that is drying a bit, I will go ahead and just trim this little blade that I always use. So I'll just go ahead and trim that, the corners, mirror the corners so they're nice and clean for when I add my tape. I know for this part now, I will go ahead and add the double-sided tape. And we are going to repeat this process all around. I don't want to use the liquid glue for this part. But if you want to add extra reinforcement for that part, you can do so. All right, guys, there you go. All right, I'm just using my phone to press the tape down so it's adhering to the chipboard and the paper. All right, this is looking nice. I also want to add double-sided tape here, but let me see. I just feel like it protects it from ripping. So now I am just removing the packaging, the backing from the double-sided tape, and then tucking in any tape that is outside the paper to ensure that it is adhering. All right, now let's bring those in. But first, I will just crease with my table. Let's do the bottom and the top first. Okay, so now I'm seeing why I don't like to use liquid glue. I feel like it changes just depending on how much you use. You see here, it's changing the color of the paper. And I don't think I added that much, but for some reason it is changing the color of the paper. But I will continue working with it because this is not my first time trying to make this mini album, and I have already wasted some paper and I couldn't fix the problems. So it was a large album. It was looking really good, and then something bad really happened to it. But we're not gonna think about that, okay? So let's start over and then just be happy about it. There you go. So it should look something like this. All right. This is a 2-inch spine. If you want to do a different, maybe 1.5 or 1 inch, you can change that. And then now here, I want to add some acetate. So this little piece of acetate, I'm gonna cut it a little longer in length because it's gonna be like 2.5 by 4. But since I want it adhering to the back of this, I will give this another 1/2 inch. So it's gonna be 3 by 4. Okay, let's get that acetate that comes with the collection. It's gonna be this, I don't know if you can see that well with this, but has like a little beehive pattern, which is very cute. And this is what's the name of this? Honeycomb, that's what it's called. Oh, that's another way of putting it, right? All right, so 4 by 3. All right, so that is 4 by 3. Okay, so it should be something like this. And you want the gold facing outwards, right? So I will go ahead and add some double-sided tape right here and just adhere it right here. Okay. Let's just add the double-sided tape to the acetate. And I have been wanting to create some little shakers tags like I usually do. I have shared them through my Instagram before with different collections from Doodlebug, and they always turn out so cute with the sprinkles that they have, like little shakers like this. I will add some sequins to that and then just make it so much fun. All right, so let me see something. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Let's just leave it that way. Press it down with your bone to ensure that it's adhering, and then that is the cover for now. Oh my gosh, guys. You see, I told you guys about it, and I still made the mistake. So let's rip it up. I don't know what is going on, guys, but with this project, I don't know what it is. Like I said, I started a whole project. It was looking so nice, and then boom, something happened. So I need to clear that negative energy out of here. Go bye-bye. All right, let's just do it again. All right. So the goal should be facing out now. All right. And I am not stressing about the paper ripping here because we are going to add a backing to the chipboard that is also going to come up through the, it is going to come up on the acetate. All right. So are you guys following along? Make sure you stay for the whole video so we can complete it together. I would love to see if you guys recreate this, even if it's not with Be Happy collection at this time, or if you're using another collection, it's perfectly fine, you know, by Doodlebug Designs. And then, but yeah, I would love to see. So tag us on Instagram at the Daily Life of Creativity. All right, so it should be looking like that. Now the gold is facing out. Okay, so let's get a paper for in here to mat the chipboard inside. So this is going to be 4 inches because the paper do add, let me see something. See, I don't want to leave too much all around. So this is going to be 4 by, I think, a little bit over 9.5. So that is probably 9 5/8, right? 9 5/8. Let's see how that looks. Just a little line after 9.5, that is 5/8. Okay, there you go. This is nice. So 4 by 9 5/8. So I will go ahead and add double-sided tape to that. I'm not using the liquid glue here in this part because I am not liking the way the glue turned the paper. Maybe it's not everywhere, so maybe I added a little too much here. But I am going to embellish and mat something here into this so it will cover it really nicely. So I'm not stressing over that. Okay. And I will just add the double-sided tape all across throughout the whole paper. We want to ensure that it is adhered properly and nothing is lifting. And you know, when you create such a beautiful project, you want to make sure that you're using the right amount of adhesive. All right, with the same tool right here, I will remove just a little piece from the corner because I like to ensure that everything is straight. And I'm using my mat, the lines, to ensure that that is adhering properly, right? Okay. So you remove that backing and then press it down. Now it should be really nicely everywhere. Nothing should be looking twisted, or that's the way I like to do it. Just a piece at a time. And then let's stuff that tape in. And yeah, I'm just pressing that down. And then just know to let's crease the spine. I like to bend my covers just gently and then press with my bone very gently, because you don't want to tear that paper after you have spent so much time wrapping this album. And that has happened to me many times. So I know. There you go. Okay. So I will be back with the pages inside of this album, and then we can go from there. We can create a little cute little closure, maybe something to tie it with a knot or maybe some string. I'm still thinking through that process, but I will be back to show you what I did. Hi guys, so we are back with the pages. I know what I'm doing now. So you will need some black paper, black cardstock at 4 inches, 4 inches by 10.5. And then I scored at 5. Oh, I scored at 5 and 5.5. Yeah, I'm just gonna move this because it's closer. It's close to this piece right here, so it's bugging me. But I know that this is 5 and 5.5. Okay, there you go. I just got a new blade from a cherry on top for this board, because you see how it's leaving little fuzzies. I just need to change it. This is heavy cardstock, so maybe that's what is happening. With the lighter cardstock, it doesn't really do that. So good thing I have two of this, so I just need to put a sticker so I know which one which one has the new blade. Okay. So once again, this is 4 inches by 10.5. You score 5 and 5.5. You want two of those. Okay. And then for the first page, I did it at, it's a little shorter. Okay. I did it at 10 inches, so it's 4.5. It's the same 4 inches width. Length is by 4 by 10, and then I score at 4.5 and 5 inches. Okay, and this one will be the front one, and then the other two will be in the back. So it should be something like this, with this one just showing here. I wanted to create a little cascaded looking page, but uh, my brain is not braining, so I don't want to fight anymore. Let's go ahead and add some double-sided tape to the spine of the pages. And then now the first one. Okay, so all of them have double-sided tape. If you want to reinforce that, you can add liquid glue, just a tiny bit, so to ensure that that is not going anywhere when you start adding all your stuff. All right, so now I need to center all the pages. Okay, let me just do it this way. Sometimes trying to center things. I have. So I will probably want to leave about 1/4 of an inch from here to where I'm adding my, because this is 2 inches, right? And I have every single paper is about 1/2 of an inch. No, it's not about, it's 1/2 of an inch, the spine. So we leave quarter and quarter, that's half, so we can have it nice. Oh, this is twisted, guys. There you go. So that the papers are straight here all the way down before you press the tape down. You don't want to be ripping your paper apart. Let's remove the backing from this. There you go. Should be nice and straight. And if you want not if you don't want them to be 4 inches, since that's the width of the album, just take it by a little bit. I kind of wanted it to be the width of the album, the chipboard itself. Remove the backing from the last one. And then we're done with the pages. Now it's time to start matting and just ensure that. There you go. Press that down. Yep, crease nicely. Yeah. Okay. So it should be looking like this. You have your 3 pages and it looks like this. Now we're gonna fill that up with all the cute embellishments, photo mats. We will probably add a packet in the back right here on the chipboard cover, so you can add little things and then also create a little closure. Alright guys, so now with our 6x8 paper pad, I am loving the paper pad. I will go ahead and use some of the papers from in here. For this first page, since it's the only one this size, I am going to mat it with a cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. So 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. You will need 2 pieces for that, in, outside, and in. And then the rest of them are all the same. So you will need a 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. So 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Yes. And that leaves a nice little border all around. Okay. I will, after I mat all those up, I'll go ahead and let you know what are the mats for the outside using the coordinating cardstock from the collection, because I want to create some photo mats where you can add spaces for photos, and also just add little clusters of embellishments to the sides, the tops, or the bottoms, just making it look a little different. I am still debating to see if I want to add some little flip pages that open like this. We'll see. And then, but let's just go ahead and start matting first, right? Okay. So for the first one, I'm going to use this beautiful paper right here. I cannot remember what this pattern is called right now. I always seem to forget everything when I'm trying to film a video. So this is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. And I am doing it this way to see if I can get, no, I won't be able to. In my brain, it was working that way. Oh no, let me see. Did I cut that right? Yeah, that's perfect. 3 3/4. All right, so we already have, I mean, that did work out. You see, sometimes we don't see things until they're actually completed. Our brain is not able to process things at the time that we're doing them unless we get it done. So from one sheet, I did trimmed the backing for both of this. And it's okay, so the same pattern paper, when you add the matting and you add different embellishments, it is going to look different. Okay, so let's see. And then for these little strips like this, save them. You might want to add them to other pages, just to create the little, just a different look. Just make it fun. All right, and for this one here, I'm gonna cut this one at 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and I'm cutting the width of the paper, so I'm ensuring that I can cut more than one page, and 4 3/4. See if those little scrap papers, those are cute to mat even on the same paper, you see, to create like a little place for like a cluster, title, things like that. Let me know what you guys think so far of this project. If you have any questions, I would love to hear those. Um, Once again, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Share with your friends. I would really appreciate that. And then, let's see here. I want to use this side. I'm not sure about this side yet, but I will still place it there. So let me go ahead and cut those, and I will be right back. I'll probably speed it up. You never know. Before you cut it, ensure that you know which way the pattern paper is going so you don't make mistakes like I did. For this one, it doesn't really truly matter, but for the other one, it does if you want to use the same pattern paper.
Cinderella's fairy godmother.
Alright guys, so now we have all the all the pages, not the pagers, all the pagers. I was thinking about Madia when I said pagers. All the pages trimmed. So let's go ahead and mat those black pages, and then I will be back with the mats for this, okay? The size. And I will be using my liquid glue for this portion of it. All right, that looks nice. Let's go ahead and do this one now. I like the polka dot side, but I also love the bees. So that's why sometimes I kind of sort of fight myself with trying to see what paper I am going to use because I love both of the sides. So it's good to have at least a couple of papers, at least 2, 3 pages. So just in case if you use, you have an extra one, I guess, right? A couple papers never hurt anyone. And that's what I love, like where the 6x6 or 6x8 paper cut comes in. Like you're not using your larger pages for things like this. This mini album is quite tiny, so it's perfect to use those pages. And we're not done using the mini album. I also want to add the tags. Those tags are gonna be creating some little flip ups, not flip ups, flips to the sides. Instead of adding like a full page, we'll just go ahead and add the tag. You will see what I will do right now. All right. Mhm. There you go. It's looking really nicely. Press that down. Let's add this one now. And if you want to cover the black cardstock in between, just add a little strip of paper, something that is less than half of an inch, just to frame it, and it looks nice. I will go ahead and do that too. So something like that. But this one needs to be trimmed just a bit so the pages doesn't get stuck or has a hard time closing and opening. Let's just add this. And is that too much? Let's add the polka dots. That will work. Oh, I thought I added adhesive, but I didn't. So let's add adhesive to that page. Also, if you wanted to use this paper with the strips on one of the pages, just make sure you're trimming it this way, not the way I did. I just wanted 2 backends from that same paper, so that's the way it had to be. Okay, so we have, yeah, let me just go ahead and put that back here. Let's go ahead and put that here and then here. That's the way I want it to be. But if you want it to be that way, switch those around or add the papers you want to add. You might be using just regular matte paper, regular coordinating cardstock. That's what I meant to say. Okay, that looks nice. There you go. Now the last one is this one. I know we are going to move on to, let me cover that glue. We're going to move on to the mattings. Let's see how fun we can make this. Um, there you go. So this is what it looks like so far. Okay. Let me know if you're here at this stage. What you think? Do you have questions? Is it, did I explain it correctly, or are you lost in something, or you need an answer? Let me know in the comments below. I really like to interact with you guys, and just let's just be friends, guys. I don't have anyone in my family that crafts, so I really get a joy of sharing with you all and being here and sharing through my Instagram. That just really truly makes me happy. Real quick, just to an, give an idea, for the 3x4 cards and the tags that come also in the 6x8 paper pad, which I love tags. I want to create some little flips, like add it to the corner of the album and then just flips up, like flips to the side, either to the left or to the left or to the right. Um, just to make it interactive, you can also create little clusters right here, and it doesn't take away from the space on where you are going to be adding your photo. Okay, I think that is a really cute idea to just add some interaction to the album, make it a little more fun, more interactive to flip and touch, and just the texture and layers just to make it fun. So let's go ahead and get those going, and let's see where we get to. And these are the coordinating card stacks from the collection. They are beautiful. They match every single paper that is in this Be Happy collection. So it is your option to see what mattings you want to use. And this is texture card stack, which is lovely. Okay. So like this, you will take a piece here for this. I want to use the black and white here. Just to mat a photo here. And let's get those measurements. 3¼ by 4. Let me do 4 and 1/8. Let me see how that looks. See? So when you add your 3×4 photo, you still have like a little trim of the paper all around, and you can still see the background. If you want this smaller, you go ahead and do so. Okay, so that was 4¼ right? There you go. So I wanted two, one for the front, one for the back. There you go. Let's just hold this with the clip. And then with the tag, because I do want a tag here in the front, you know, just to make it fun, I will use this one here with the stripes. Let's use this little tiny scissors to cut the little edges. And here. And then for this side here, I want to go ahead and you will need a piece of paper. Well, I am using a piece of paper that is 3 inches by 1. You score at 1/2 inch. You just want to create like a little wedge. There you go. So I scored and I cut just in case. So the paper is harder to score a paper that is like 1 inch. So I did this first before I cut the paper. There you go. And then you can add that right here. If you want to do it before you mat this paper so you can tuck it underneath so it doesn't show at the top, I would highly recommend for you to do that. Because now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, I wish I would have adhered it under this paper, the pattern paper, before I adhere that. But we learn as we go, right? I'm making this album, yeah, at the moment live. So I'm thinking of the ideas as I'm recording, and I'm writing the numbers for the instructions, and that's just the process with my brain. Or as as I am playing with this, add it underneath your matting, you know, before you mat it. And then you can add the little tag right here. It still won't be in the way. It's perfect. You can still add some ribbon. You can still flip it open. It doesn't interfere with the paper underneath for your photo. Okay, so that's another way too. That's what I'm going to do. We just have to work along with what we do. Sometimes the ideas don't come across the way we see it in our heads, but that doesn't mean that we should once again give up on our projects. So let me just go ahead and add some double-sided adhesive. I am using my little washi cutter, guys. These ones are from my shop, my Etsy shop. If you have not seen my Etsy shop, I would love for you to check it out. I sell acrylic embellishments. I have some acrylic albums right now currently that are listed. And my recent collection that I just listed was for a happy birthday. And I also have acrylic paper clips. Those are great for people who love to read. I love adding them in my mini albums. I think they look so cute to hold things, or also in my reading books. They're great as gifts and so forth. So feel free to check it out. Follow my shop. I will be adding a few kits very soon for Christmas, mini albums and layouts that I have been putting together, and also some that I already had. So I am excited to share all of that. Okay. So let me just, oh, I shouldn't have removed the backing for that one yet, but it's okay. I need a double-sided tape here. That would be good. Okay, so let me turn, no, because then if I turn it around, the tag would be on the outside. Okay, so let me just add this back in again. So it's easier for me to maneuver this right now because the tape is sticking to my fingers. I need to go do my nails. All right, they're too long. I usually do the dip powder, which is better because these are my real nails. So, but it still grows out and it looks like you have a, it's just the powder, not the acrylic. Or I don't know if it's the same, but I think it's a little healthier for your nail. Well, that's what they told me, and that's what I feel too. There you go. So it should look something like this. So let me go ahead and add some double-sided tape right here once again. Let's cut that tape. Okay. So let's just do this. There you go. Just try to center it with that. Press that down, and that should be looking like that. It's cute. Okay. And I will be adding a cluster of embellishments right there. Let me add some of the liquid glue, remove the backing for the tape. All right, so this is what our face page looks like. Try to center it as much as I can so we can see the paper underneath. And then now this looks like this. And you can also add a little 2x2 photo here, add a little embellishment, add your larger photo here. And then I am going to be adding a cluster here, adding some ribbon, a little bow tie, something. Okay, here I also have this one. Let me set this one. That looks nice too. I like the border all around. Okay, so maybe they can be different, right? 3¼ by 3½. So this is 3¼ by 4½. I love the way that looks because then I can add a larger title here or create a cluster at the bottom, still leaving space for this. You can add it on foam adhesive so it's elevated, and then you can tuck your photo in, because I won't be adding any photos to this, so I have to think about that ahead of time. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do 3¼ by 4¼ for this ones. right, so those are gonna be for, but I also want to recreate the same process that I did with the tag with these cards here. So let's see. Okay, I think that would look really nice. All right, love you bunches. Which one will look good on top of this paper right here? Probably this one here, because it's a, or maybe the bee with the colors. Home is where your honey. Home is where your honey bee. Which honey? Sometimes I laugh so hard just reading these names. Honey, your hubby? All right. Ooh, this can be fun too if you open it this way. Oh, wow. All right. Let's do that, guys. Let's do that. So that is 3. Let's do the same thing by, let's do it by 1 inch once again. Score at 1, and then I will cut. Score, 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 and then trim. And then I will be adding double-sided adhesive, adhering that, and this one should be this one. This one is going to be opening this way. You see, we're creating some type of flip pages like that, and then you can mat it here to add a photo, and then just create to make it fun, right? Yes, let's do that. That's when we start making it fun. Okay, there you go. And then in here. All right, press that down. How are we gonna clip that close? Let's try to see. Maybe do like a little. We have to kind of do it on the side though, because we don't want to cover all that beautiful work on the front of the card, right? Or unless we want to do it this way. What do you think? So we do it like this, and then tie some type of ribbon right here. Or should I just add a magnet? Oh, jeez. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Let me add a magnet. Where are my magnets? I get those little magnets on Amazon. It comes with 150 pieces of magnets. It just depends on how much you use on your projects. That's how long they will last you. All right, for this part, I will be adding the magnet right here. So when I add the backing, it is not showing. Let's move that over here. There you go. It's going to be in the back. There you go. Let's press the paper down. Yeah, better than, I guess it's better than the ribbon at this time. All right, let's just try to center this in the middle of this box. And then adhere that down. If we open this. And then I will also want a matting for in here, huh? What is this size? Let's do we want to cover it all the way through? I need to cover this, so I need to find something to. So this is 2.5 by 3 inches. Yeah, I'll do that. So this is just a smaller matting for a photo. All right, so it should look something like this. So now you have a cute little tag in the front. And then now you have the 3x4 card that's open like this. You can add photos here and here. So let me go ahead and mat the other pages and I will be right back since this process will take a little while. All right, guys, so we are done with this mini album. I didn't show you the process of embellishing, but the pages, I showed you most of the little things that I did to complete this. Here, I matted using that same paper from the 6x8 paper pad. This is beautiful. I just love the way it looked through here, through the acetate in the background. So I said, let me just go ahead and add that here. This is one of the all the things like Be Happy ephemera pack. You know, it came in one of this. So it says the sweetest memories. This is Doodle Pop. This little bee right here, and also this one right here. The flower that is like a 3D flower. I'm not sure if you're picking that up in the video. These are cardstock stickers and just a mixture of puffy icons just to give it certain different like texture and just layers. As you can see here, I added also a closure with the string with this ribbon. And then the ribbon was added all around and then matted with this paper. Okay. Inside the mini album, I added tulle to the tags. I just love the texture that it gives and it looks cute. I created a little cluster right here with the same pieces from the ephemera pack. This is all from the ephemera pack. And I just added it on foam adhesive for layers because I like to add layers. This is empty because that's where you add your photo. Inside here, I added You're So Sweet, leaving that empty also. It's also on foam adhesive because you can go ahead and tuck your photo in there. And this one is remained the same from when I showed you earlier with the magnet. Nothing's changed. I didn't add anything else. All right, so now on this page, I created this little matting photo mat with the white background paper, which is a texture cardstock from the coordinating cardstock with the little strip leftovers that we were putting on the side. That's what I did. I just matted that. And I created clear clusters with also with the ephemera pieces. Sweet as honey, my honey, with some little critters right there, which look cute. On here, I added this photo mat. It just flips open. And for this, you just need a piece of cardstock paper that is by 9 by 3.5. You score in the middle, and then this one flips up. I also use the scrap papers and your unbelievable, more of the ephemera puffy icons, and then you can add your photos in here. This one just has a life is sweet, and then this is space for the photo. This one, instead of opening up, it opens to the left of the album, and you add your. And this one is 7 inches. You score at 3.5, and is by 4.5 inches. Okay. Here I did the same thing that I did in the front. I added a little tag with some tulle, sweet memories, hello sunshine, a little bee with a little cluster right here, and I added another tag this way because this one is cute as it can be, and nothing else here because you can add your photo, finish embellishing. And at the bottom of the back of the album on the chipboard cover, I added a pocket. For this one, you're gonna need a piece of paper that measures 4.5 by 3.5. You score at 1/2 inch every only on 3 sides, and then I create with my punch hole. Let me see, that's 1.5 inch circle punch hole. Circle punch. I just punched a little opening there and tucked some tags. All right, and then to close this, you just need to create a little ribbon bow, and it looks like this. So let me know what you guys think about it. Are you going to be recreating this mini album? I would love to see it. Once again, tag me over at the Daily Life of Creativity on Instagram. I will go ahead and leave that down below, and leave a comment telling me how much you love it. I would love to hear from you. Bye, guys.